You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
I have been meaning to speak with you.
I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders.
You may not realize it, but you are the talk of the school since you saved me that day.
I wonder how everyone knows about it.
I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up to if it came from me. She likely told other professors, and news travels quickly. Unfortunately, she might, in fact, have been even less forgiving than I'd hoped.
If she knew more about what you've done, I suspect she'd be proud.
If she knew any more about what I've done, she would never let me out of her sight again.
I'm sorry. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided?
She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him, whether it is us or Officer Singer. If someone had stopped the monsters like him in Matabeleland, my father would be alive today.
What exactly happened to your father?
It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone to tend to a neighbor who was ill, and so my father and I were galloping in the savannah.
Galloping? Your father was also an animagus, I take it?
He could become the most majestic giraffe, and he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. We were on our way home when we surprised a group of bandits who had come from our village. One of them saw me just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted and then aimed his rifle.
He didn't want you to identify him.
Exactly. In an instant, my father bowed his neck to protect me and was hit. As he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. Magic terrified them, and then he was gone. And it was all my fault.
Your fault? How so?
He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself, he would still be alive today. My mother and I tried to go on without him, but it became too much for us there. A few years later, we left to come to Scotland.
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional.
He was. Truly extraordinary. And thank you for your kind words. We all have our burdens. My father had a saying about that.
Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone.
Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end to the Ashwinders, beginning with Harlow. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention to Rookwood. We are making progress, and we will succeed. Thank you again for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
You made it.
I take it this means you had some luck at the library?
It took a few hours and some eye-watering maps, but I think this might be the cave Doran told us about.
Impressive. Especially with how little information he gave us.
Well, I'm still not sure this is the cave, but it did seem the most promising. I stumbled across some folklore about a cave in the area that people avoid. Seemed the perfect place to hide something of value. It's a bit of a leap, I confess, but might a mysterious item such as a special moonstone be hidden in an equally mysterious cave? I think I'm desperate for anything at this point.
Well, we're here. We might as well have a look.
Agreed.
Would you please meet with me in the Great Hall? I have come upon a difficult time, and I need a friend.
Revelio. Accio. You don't think the rumors about the cave are true, do you?
I suppose we'll find out, won't we?
Revelio. Accio. Confringo. Accio. Revelio.
It's another aggressive one!
Confringo. Bombarda. Levioso.
What is going on?
Confringo. Revelio. Accio. Revelio. Confringo. Revelio.
Voipers!
I beg your pardon?
This
Accio.
must be how the rumor about the cave started. The Voipers
Revelio.
is said to drive anyone who hears it mad.
Accio. Revelio. Accio. Accio. Revelio. Accio.
If the Moonstone is here and so are Voipers, I wonder if it's being protected. Why am I not surprised? First the Voipers and now
Lumos.
this.
Accio.
We need to find moths for those spinners.
Lumos.
Lumos!
Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Depulso. Accio. Revelio.
Another obstacle. No matter. I'm sure we can work out a way across.
Lumos.
Lumos!
Revelio. Confringo. Bombarda. Confringo. Potato. Confringo. Bombarda. Confringo. Bombarda. Revelio. Accio. Revelio. Also. Lumos.
Lumos. Merlin, it's beautiful.
Capolso. Lumos. Depulso. Glacius. Lumos.
You did it!
Revelio. Confringo. Bombarda.
I was hoping we would
Confringo! Confringo! Bombarda! Revelio!
Look, where the water's bubbling. How odd.
Shall we take a closer look?
You read my mind.
Revelio!
It's even more beautiful close up. It's got to be here. I just know it.
Confringo!
Given what flew has an idea,
I don't know. I've been listening to them for a while now, and I'm starting to lose my mind.
Very funny. I was just thinking how it's proof that poachers haven't been here, assuming this is where the Moonstone is. Which means we're one step ahead of them. Well, we found what we came for. Now we just need to bring it to the henge.
Well done, Poppy. This did end up being the right cave after all.
A good thing, too. We need every advantage over the poachers if we're to get to the Snidgets first. We should do as Doran suggested and bring the Moonstone to the henge.
Shall we?
We shall. If we leave now, we should make it there by nightfall. That's the henge, precisely where Doran said it would be. But now that we're here, I'm not entirely sure how to feel. We knew we were at the cave for the Moonstone, but Doran didn't tell us what to expect when we placed the stone in the henge.
Whatever it is, it had better have to do with Snidgets.
The clock is ticking in that regard, isn't it? Let's make our way down. We're nearly at the end of this. I think that's it over there.
How's your Gran doing, by the way?
Nothing keeps Gran down. She set up a caterwauling charm and threatened to make a coat out of the next poacher that set foot on her doorstep. I still feel terrible that I'm the reason they left her.
Surely she'll be pleased you've gone after the Snidgets.
I hope so. Gran understands how important it is to protect those who need it. I think we can safely say we know where the Moonstone goes.
Whoa!
Oh. That was a mooncalf dance. Do you know how rare it is to see even one? They only ever happen under a full moon. Though I suppose the Moonstone allowed it to happen now.
Is the pattern they left behind on the ground normal?
All part of the dance. No one pattern is ever the same, though. We'll need to draw this one to get a better sense of it. Can't wait to tell Gran that I've managed to see not one, but 2 mooncalf dances. She'll be jealous.
You've seen this before?
It was pure luck the first time. I was on Highwing, or I'd never have spotted it. It was the night the night I met Highwing, actually,
I'd love to hear about how you and Highwing met.
I'd actually like you to know. About 5 years ago, Highwing had been captured by poachers. At first, they planned to sell her, but soon decided they wanted to kill her instead. More money, I suppose. I'd finally had enough. I freed Highwing and we ran. We'd flown for ages when I spotted mooncalves dancing below and we landed to watch them. It felt like an omen. A good one. A sign that the worst was over.
What do you mean you'd had enough and the worst was over?
You see, the night I freed Highwing was also the night I ran away from home. A poacher camp. I come from a family of poachers.
Merlin? I don't know what to say, Poppy. I can't imagine what that must have been like for you.
I never fitted in, but the older I got, the more apparent it became. Gran tried for years to convince my parents to let me live with her. Suffice it to say, when I left with Highwing, I flew straight for her house.
How brave. I'm glad you escaped.
So am I. There were so many creatures I was unable to help when I was younger. Now that's all I want to do.
From everything I've seen, you're doing precisely that.
I've had a bit of help. I've never told anyone any of this, but I'm glad that you know. It's nice to have someone to talk about it with.
I'm glad you told me.
We should get back to Doran. He'll need to see the symbol, and we've got poachers to beat. If you collect the moonstone, I can make a quick drawing of the symbol for Doran.
Protego! Are you finished with the drawing?
Just barely. I think the pattern's a bird. At least that's what it looks like.
Didn't the journal say the key to finding the Snidget lies in the moonlight?
Of course! That's it! We need to show this to Doran. Not that I'd know where to find him at this hour. Perhaps we should head back to the castle and we can track him down after a good night's sleep.
Agreed. I'm ready to leave if you are.
You've got good...
Off on another adventure, are we?
Some days are more difficult than others.
Natty, is everything all right?
There are times when my father's absence drifts to the back of my mind, and I feel peace for a day or two. But this is not one of those times. I miss him. I miss running with him. I miss Matibeleland. He should still be here. And it's my fault that he isn't.
It's not your fault, Natty. There's nothing you could have done to prevent it.
That is what my mother says. But he died protecting me. And I cannot help but feel guilty over that. I find myself reliving the moment more often than I would like. I believe I would feel less helpless if I could truly put an end to Harlow and the rest of Rookwood's miserable lot. Each day they remain free, they do more damage, leaving people like Archie Bickle to suffer the consequences.
I agree, Natty. We'll get them. I've never seen someone so committed to a cause.
Thank you. I believe we will get them, beginning with Harlow. Thank you for speaking with me. It was very helpful.
Revelio!
I'll take them all. Run the other way when they see me, humans do. Every time.
Could be goblin loyalists in here. Sign of Lodgok out here. He must be inside already. Look at the size of this one.
Something seems wrong.
This place is teeming with Ranrock's loyalists. I have to get the wits about me. Glacis, Bombarder! This cart ought to get me deeper into the mine. Just like Gringotts, but I'm in the driver's seat this time.
Something seems wrong.
How deep will this take me?
Ranrock's gonna be pleased with our progress.
Who was on that car?
Let me out with this part, will ya?
That has to be the end up ahead. Accio. Revelio. Repulsor. Revelio. Confringo. Bombarder.
You're like bubble penny. Chill spells glance off of me.
Bombarda! Confringo! Protego! Bombarda! Protego! Stupefy! Flipendo! Protego! Bombarda! Revelio. Confringo. Revelio. Accio. Levioso. Aloha Mora. Revelio. Confringo. Revelio. Bombarda. Confringo.
Utterly pitiful display.
He knows nothing about children!
Confringo! Bombarda!
I won't rest.
Accio!
One less human to worry about. Such arrogance.
Protego!
Why can't I hit you?
Accio! Confringo!
I will make you pay. Why drag this out longer than necessary?
Confringo!
I won't rest.
Where does this one lead? Off the beaten path, I suspect. Confringo! I'd better light these boilers if I want to go. I hope I can get to Ranlock before Lodgok does.
Another drill is complete. The wizarding world will crumble.
I can end this right now. I have to destroy the drill and stop Ranlock. Protego!
Stop it! Put me down!
Confringo!
Think you're clever, don't you?
Confringo! Bombarda! Glacius!
Terribly outmatched. Surely you
Confringo! Bombarda! Accio!
never seen a wizard use magic like you.
Confringo! Accio! Bombarda! Confringo! Glacius! Confringo! Bombarda! Confringo! Bombarda!
That is unfortunate. No matter, we will build another.
I found this one lurking outside.
Lord Gok, come to make amends, little brother.
I came to stop this.
What is this you've brought me? It cannot be. All this time, you knew. You knew where it was!
Are you alright?
I'll never understand you, Lord Gok. So gullible. That witch did not consider you an equal. She, like all wizard kind, sought only to use you.
You're wrong, Ranrock.
The young ones are especially deceitful. They are taught to hide their disgust for us, as they exploit us.
Astonishing that our ancestors ever trusted each other.
All this time, looking everywhere for the final repository, searching in vain for Bragbor's last journal. Wasted my time, chasing a child. And my little brother knew where it was all along. But now, I don't need you. I don't need any of you.
I was bringing it to you.
You are a traitor to our kind! No! Avada Kedavra!
Poor Lord Gok. Dead by his brother's hand. No wonder he tried so hard to reason with him. Now to get out of this blasted place. I'll send word to Fig to meet me in the map chamber. He and the Keepers need to know Ranrock has that journal and knows where the final repository is. I hope Professor Fig got my owl. I need to tell him and the Keepers that Ranrock knows where the last repository is.
According to the owl I received, Ranrock is moving more quickly than we could have anticipated.
This is grave news indeed. We had hoped for more time to discuss the best path forward.
Let us hear what the student has to say.
Professor, you received my owl. Ranrock has the last of Bragbor's journals. He killed Lodgok to get it. He knows where the last repository is.
Godric's heart.
Lodgok and Ranrock were brothers. Lodgok was bringing the journal to me.
Ranrock is a monster. We need to know where the final repository is.
Surely this changes things. Ranrock has Bragbor's journals and knows where the final repository is.
We obliviated Bragbor. He kept journals? Why would he have documented all of this? He didn't know what we were containing.
I'm afraid I can't say. I didn't read the journals.
I fear you are correct. The situation is far from ideal, but we can wait no longer. I will defer to Professor Rackham as to how to proceed.
Based upon the memories they have seen, I believe our young friend is well aware of the grave circumstances in which we find ourselves. The next trial will involve an exceptional level of magical skill and a nuanced ability to interact with beasts. Find a face of stone and tendrils. I should advise you that you must engage with any beast that is part of the trial on your own. Professor Bakar will meet you in his pensive room.
An exceptional level of magical skill? Nuanced ability to interact with beasts? I suppose we should begin our search for a face of stone and tendrils, whatever that may be.
Very well.
Professor Weasley has been keeping an eye on me. Perhaps we should meet there, so she has no reason to raise concerns with Professor Black. I shall see you near the coast.
Wonder who lives here. This could prove dangerous if I'm not careful.
Good news. We do not have any of Ranrock's loyalists to contend with. Of course, the bad news is that it's likely because they no longer need to track the Keepers for information.
Revelio. Confringo.
Is that a... It is. I believe I know what must be done. Do you recognize the head sculpted there?
It looks like a grapphorn.
And the prints carved into the ground lead me to believe that a grapphorn will somehow open the way forward.
That's what Professor Rackham meant when he spoke of my needing an ability to interact with beasts.
It would seem so. I do know that the last of a long dynasty of grapphorns lives nearby. They call him the Lord of the Shore. I suspect you'll need to bring him here. What happens next, I can't say.
If that's what must be done, I'll do it.
Excellent. I know this area well enough. When you see the remains of a large sea creature, you're in the right place. Now, Professor Rackham made it clear that you must engage with any beast that is part of this trial on your own. So I shall wish you good luck and wait for your return in the map chamber.
I don't like the looks of that encampment.
I tell you this, Hogwarts is lucky they've got protection guards.
This must be the place. Very well, Lord of the Shore. Show yourself. I need your help, friend. These rocks have seen better days.
Anne's worried. She said Sebastian promised her that I would be there if she went to meet him in the catacomb. But now he's asking her to join him immediately and to come alone. She says he doesn't sound himself. Meet us at the catacomb as soon as you can. I hope that my quills conveyed my message clearly.
if I'm safe to explore in there.
Sebastian has gone too far. You saw what lies in the catacomb. I cannot stay here.
Wait, Anne, please.
Ominous. He was willing to put the whole hamlet and himself in danger on the chance that some old relic could help to heal me. I'm sorry, Ominous. Make sure he's all right, will you?
I'm glad you're here.
I received your owl. Where's Sebastian?
Inside the catacomb. Frankly, I was surprised you weren't with him.
Ominous,
Stop. You swore you wouldn't let Sebastian take this one step further. Yet here we are.
He won't listen to reason.
I should have stopped him before. Sebastian's in real trouble now. I'm going back into the catacomb to find him. Anne's right. He and the entire hamlet are in danger. The place is crawling with Inferi.
Inferi? What are you talking about?
You'll see. We need to hurry. Sebastian must not be in his right mind.
Last time we were here, this place was crawling with spiders.
We're about to face worse. Let's
Revelio.
find Sebastian quickly.
Where was Sebastian when you and Anne found him?
Just ahead, in the great room.
Incendio! Confringo! Glacier! Potato! Depulso! Incendio! Fringo! Incendio! Confringo!
There weren't this many Inferi before.
And there's no sign of Sebastian. Potato! Incendio! Confringo! Incendio! Confringo! Potato! Stupido! Incendio! Confringo! Dependo!
Hold on a moment. I was so worried about Sebastian I didn't even realize. Anne's gone to get Solomon. When she first saw the Inferi, she thought Sebastian was being attacked. But then he showed her the relic and said he'd learned how to use it.
The carvings on the relic were Inferi, and Sebastian somehow created them.
Not exactly. He's controlling them. This is powerful dark magic. Creating Inferi is incredibly difficult, but controlling them... As Anne and I frantically barricaded the Inferi to keep them from escaping, Sebastian kept mumbling about healing Anne. When Anne said she couldn't stay here, I didn't realize what she meant.
Solomon threatened to go to the headmaster if he heard of Sebastian dealing with dark magic.
I need to get to Hogwarts. I must get to Professor Black first. Twist the story a bit, make him think it's a family fight. I'll be back as soon as I can. See if you can talk some sense into Sebastian. Be careful.
Protego! Stupefy! Stupefy! Confringo! Incendio! Depulso! Depulso! Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. There's Sebastian.
Isn't this incredible?
Sebastian.
I told you. The relic is the answer. I've been trying to reverse the dark magic that injured Anne, but this will allow me to control it. Just as I can control the Inferi.
Control? I had to fight the Inferi all the way.
What have the two of you done? Accio relic!
The relic! You'll pay for this!
The two of you are
Expelliarmus! Confringo! Incendio! Confringo! Incendio!
Now you've gone too far.
Protego! Confringo! Protect us!
I am protecting you, you foolish boy!
Confringo! Protego! Incendio! Mr. Sallow! Stop! Confringo!
You're no friend to my nephew!
Glacius!
Sorry, it had to be done. Confringo!
Incendio! Confringo! Protego! Incendio! Defendo! Confringo! Leviosa! Accio! Incendio! Glacius! Confringo!
She cannot be healed, Sebastian. You must stop.
I won't let her suffer! Avada Kedavra!
You've made your choice.
Oh, Anne. What have you done? I must get out of here.
I can't let him leave. Sebastian, wait! Stop, Sebastian. Hold on.
What is it?
Why wouldn't you stop? I was calling after you.
Anne won't survive this. She's withering away, inside and out. Solomon's never been there for us, not really. He gave up on Anne. I'll never give up on her. You saw him, didn't you? He was going to ruin her life. He attacked us. I had to use the killing curse. You know I did. If I hadn't known how to cast it...
He did attack us. You had no choice. It was brave, Sebastian. You clearly care more about Anne than your uncle ever did.
I knew you'd understand. I did do the right thing.
You did. I would have done the same, if I knew how.
I could teach you.
No time like the present.
The killing curse won't be easy to master. As with all unforgivables, you have to mean it. Hold your wand steady. Focus. The incantation is Avada Kedavra. Your intention must be clear. I can't stay here. I need to find Ominous.
Sebastian.
Please, I'm not myself right now. Let's meet later, at the Undercroft, all right?
The Graphorn is somehow the key to opening the room. Time for a jaunt, I'd say.
Professor Rackham was right to have had faith in you. My memories should answer any questions you may have about the power you will need to protect.
Thank you, Professor Bakar. I shall see you back in the map chamber. Revelio.
Hello? Isadora? Isadora? Mr. Morganlock, Mr. Morgan.
Son, I'm glad you're here.
Isadora was not at her home.
I know.
Her father. Percival.
What is it?
It is as though he was stripped not only of his pain, but of all emotion.
Everything is much worse than I feared. Neve was right. Isadora hasn't stopped. I've just learned that she has been wielding that magic on students.
We must gather the others. I need you to return to your common room, all right?
What have you done?
Take a breath.
Students, Isadora.
Everyone feels pain. And why? Because of your arrogance? Your obsession with secrets? He won't suffer any longer. Not my father, not my students, no one.
Isadora, set down your wand.
Professor, you taught me to hone my power, not throw it away.
I did not teach you this. Expelliarmus!
Revelio. The caverns below Hogwarts, where you fought Isadora. Is that the location of the final repository?
It is. You see, we could not destroy the strands of emotion Isadora had stolen from so many. So we did all that we could to keep them safe. We also realized that until they could be destroyed, the magic used to create them was a danger to wizard kind. Hence, we became keepers. Keepers of an unfathomable secret. We knew that someday, one with the ability to see traces of ancient magic might be seduced by its power. We built the trials to lead that person to us, to allow them to prove themselves worthy of the knowledge we'd kept hidden and the responsibility that accompanies it.
Have I not proven myself, Professor? I need to get to that repository before Ranrock does.
You have, and you will. But the repository is protected by powerful ancient magic. To enter, you must craft a special wand from the 4 artifacts you found above our pensives.
So the repository is safe from Ranrock for now?
If he is, as you suspect, capable of using the power of the other repository, I fear he will be able to breach our defenses.
Then I must go now and craft this wand. Perhaps Mr. Ollivander will help me.
Another Ollivander? I'm not surprised. As I am sure he will tell you, this wand may be used for only one purpose. Return with the wand, and we will open the way forward.
I shall send an owl ahead to Ollivander. Whilst you visit him, I'll reach out to Professor Weasley.
Professor Weasley?
Yes. I may have made an error in judgment by not informing her of Ranrock's intentions earlier. I only hope it's not too late. If Ranrock really is going to try to drill below Hogwarts, we'll need all the help we can get.
All right, Professor. I'll see you soon.
What are you up to now?
She's devastated. She just buried your uncle alone.
I did it for her.
Sebastian, Anne can't bear the thought of turning you in, but...
What? Turn me in? She saw what happened.
I'll give you some time to think, Sebastian.
Turn me in?
Sebastian.
Did you hear that? You saw what happened. I never wanted to hurt my uncle.
I know.
I can't believe he's gone. How did things go so wrong? I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to... Oh, Anne, I was only trying to help. I can't leave now. Anne needs me more than ever. You understand. You can talk to Ominous. Make him understand. He listens to you. I need to be with Anne.
I don't know what to do, Sebastian.
You don't know. You do know. Anne has no one. I regret everything I did. I know what I did was wrong. I only hope she can forgive me. That everyone can forgive me. No matter what happens from here,
I'm glad we met.
Poor Sebastian.
Ominous?
What a mess. I can't believe it. After I last saw you, I went straight to Hogwarts. Before I had time to talk to Black, I heard from Anne. I rushed to Feldcroft and found her with Solomon's body. She was beside herself with grief. Part of her wants Sebastian to face the consequences, another part can't bear the thought of it. I don't want to lose Sebastian, but I don't think we have a choice.
We don't have a choice. You're right. You were right the entire time.
I wish I hadn't been. If we do this, we may never see Sebastian again.
I realize that, but it's the right thing to do. He killed his uncle. We've tried to justify his actions every step of the way, but this has gone too far. It has to stop.
Very well. Leave it to me. I'll tell the headmaster. Farewell for now. I shall be in touch. Whatever lies ahead, we must face it together. That I know.
Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade. There's Ollivander's. I hope he can help me craft the Keeper's wand. Hello, Mr. Ollivander. I wondered if you might be able to help me with something.
Yes, Professor Fig sent an owl informing me that you'd be coming. He was a bit cryptic, said you need to have a special wand crafted, that you'd bring me the materials.
Yes, sir. I have them here.
Oh, my. How extraordinary. Remarkable design. I will be honest, I have never crafted a wand in this fashion. Repaired broken wands, of course, but this is something else entirely. Keeping me on my toes, aren't you? I think I can work with what you've brought me. Let me see what I can do. It is done. I should warn you, I've never seen a wand like this before. My suspicion, as Professor Fig implied in his letter, is that it serves a unique purpose. I doubt you shall find much use for it otherwise.
I understand. Thank you, sir.
I'm afraid you're on your own. I've ensured that we have a moment to ourselves. Oh, come, come. No need for such theatrics. In light of what Ranrock now knows, you must agree that our interests are aligned.
Our interests will never be aligned.
You would let goblins take what is rightfully ours? The final repository belongs to wizard kind. We would be fools not to work together. What's that you've got there? Might this sudden visit to the Wand Maker have something to do with our mutual pursuit?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That repository is my birthright!
Charles Rookwood wouldn't have wanted you near it.
The arrogance. Should have known better than to try and reason with a child. I've always said, children should be seen and not heard.
A lamb to the slings. Ah, how delightful. Stupefy. Don't go down easy. Potato, don't think you're going to get out of this alive. You're going to regret. Confringo.
What have you done?
I'll have taken your life before you even do. That's the best you can do. I'll make you wish you were back at school. Confringo.
Accio. Glacier. Potato. Bombarda. Confringo.
What are your thoughts on
Stupefy. Confringo. Bombarda.
Now, this has become personal.
Confringo.
You will pay for you.
You should have joined me. Well done for a child. You.
I'll watch the light go out of your eyes.
Confringo. Potato.
I superstar.
Bombarda.
I've never seen that
I can't believe it. Rookwood's reign is finally over. I'll need to send an owl to Natty right away. For now, though, I need to get back to the map chamber and tell Fig what happened. Victor Rookwood is dead. He confronted me as I left Ollivander's with the Keeper's wand. I had to defend myself.
Godric's heart, are you all right? I know you're well able to defend yourself. I've seen it often enough. But Rookwood himself...
He would have killed me once he found the repository, if not before. I had no choice.
You're right. You had no choice. You did what you had to do. The wizarding community owes you a great debt.
Thank you for saying so, Professor. I'm ready for what's next.
All right, then. The Keepers have been waiting.
You have completed all of our trials, and you have done so under circumstances even I did not foresee. You understand now why all of this was necessary. The portkey, the vault, the locket, the book, the trials. To ensure that one with the ability you and I share would make the same choice that San, Neve, Charles, and I did.
Now that you have witnessed my memory, you understand all that is at stake. Not everyone is what they seem.
As you know, light does not exist without shadow, nor shadow without light. Simply because you can eliminate darkness does not always mean that you should.
Even the most well-meaning and competent amongst us cannot possibly know the consequences of manipulating what should be beyond our reach.
What lies in the repository must never be released. Resist the temptation to destroy or control it. The magic that you have so carefully honed must now be used only to protect the secret we keep. You have the wand. You will know when to wield it. We leave our legacy in your hands.
That must be the way to the repository.
We can only... Not too late, and that we find nothing but a repository undisturbed beyond this door.
I should hope that the enchantments protecting the castle would protect against an incursion from below.
I fear they may not. Although, if they don't now, I can assure you they will in the future.
Were you able to reach Professor Weasley?
I was. Hopefully she and the others will arrive soon. They know where to find the door through which we entered. Let's go. If his loyalists are here, he cannot be far behind.
You and I have faced worse, Professor.
Search the area. Must be here somewhere.
We must be getting bombarded. We'll be pleased with our not quite. Some of it. Not quiet. Rather up for more. Bombard. No! Accio. I won't rest.
We need to press on. Ranrock must be here somewhere.
This drill stands between us and him. We need to move it.
I shall handle it. One moment. Let's go.
Another troll. Where are the professors?
I see it's force. You will not take what's not yours. How can you do that? Trolls ought to make quick work of us. Get out, Stubborn. Ranrock will raise the breeze. I don't be worried about you. Lucky, that's all. Let's get this over.
You're no match for us.
I was ready. Who do you think you are?
Glaciers. Accio.
A dead end. Now what?
Professor, that wall, that's the way forward.
Very perceptive. Friend. It worked. Let's go. Ranrock must be getting closer to finding the repository.
I fear you're right, Professor.
Listen.
Father. Confringo. Glaciers. Accio.
Fools of a feather.
Confringo.
Number of boys coming back this way.
Bombarda. Confringo. Accio. Glaciers. Bombarda.
Over here.
Glaciers. Stupid.
Red rock.
Confringo. Accio. Bombarda. We're getting closer, Professor. That way.
The goblins have somehow evaded the castle's defensive charms.
Steer them this way. We shall make quick work of them.
They got this. Time to move. We're in the thick of it now.
We'll show these beasts who's in charge. Your timing couldn't be better, Professor Hackett.
Thank you, Professor.
Won't let you go.
Bombarda.
I won't rest. Rubber up, boy. I won't rest.
Accio. Glaciers. Bombarda.
Confront the places.
Now, Professor Fig, aren't you going to leave some for the rest of us?
We could be happy to see you, Professor Sharp.
Accio. And how nice of you to stop. Was that just this? Down! Places. Help! You can't stop us. Potato, you explain the speech. Places.
We made it.
I'm relieved we got here before Ranrock.
I can't believe this is it. The repository has been under the castle for hundreds of years.
Think of all the pain that created it. This is what Miriam, George, your friend Lodgok, and countless others died for. Miriam believed this forgotten magic could be used for such good, but she did not know the risks. She did not see what the Keepers have shown you, what Isadora showed you. You are now the Keeper of whatever power it holds. What do you intend to do with it?
I plan to leave the repository as it is.
I'm pleased to hear that. I've been thinking.
What is it, Professor?
I spent all year trying to keep our journey a secret from everyone, including Professor Weasley. But now I wonder if I should have shared it with her, and the others, sooner. Trusted them more. The Keepers wanted this secret to be locked away forever. How long will you keep it?
The Keepers were right. The risk of using this magic is too dangerous. It is my responsibility alone to keep it safe.
I understand, but you are not entirely alone. I will do all I can to help you.
arrogance of wizard kind. Goblins built this repository. It belongs to us.
Enough, Ranrock. It was never yours.
I've been wanting to play with this.
Miriam's wand.
If she'd simply handed over the container, all of this could have been avoided. Foolish, self-important witch. Seems you were two of a kind. She didn't know when to give up either.
Feeding off the power from the repository.
Your beautiful magic is no match for mine, child!
My spells are having no effect on the dragon. Accio, Protego, Superbot. What did the trick? You now, Ranrock.
There seems to be some fighting you are now. No matter. I shall rid you of it. Come and stay up, Rachel.
Two sources of power. Ha! Don't like that very much, do you? Confringo. Bombarda. Glacier. Bombarda. Confringo. Potato. Confringo. Bombarda. Confringo. Bombarda. Glaciers.
Stop! You have no idea what you're doing!
You can't run forever, Ranrock.
Give up now, and I might ensure that your death is swift.
There's nowhere to hide now, Ranrock.
Professor Fig. Confringo. Bombard. Confringo. Potato. Confringo. Accio. Glacius. Potato. Glacius. Leviosa. Professor!
Professor.
Miriam. Miriam would have loved you, my young friend. The wizarding world could not be in more capable hands.
Professor Eleazar Fig. I dare say he was a beloved professor to many of you, certainly a long-standing colleague to his peers. A famed adventurer and seeker of knowledge, he built a reputation charging into the unknown, brazenly disregarding both discretion and safety, providing perhaps a rather unfortunate lesson for us all. His devotion to adventure was rivaled
only by his dedication to Hogwarts. And of course, to his wife, Miriam, whom we lost much too soon as well. Yeah.
Professor Fig represented the best of all of us. He could be deviously clever, possessed a brilliantly inquisitive mind, and was the most loyal of friends. But perhaps it was his remarkable courage, for which we will all be forever indebted to him. If not for Professor Fig, well, I can say with confidence that if not for him, many of us, let alone Hogwarts, would not be here today. Those that knew him best will agree that we must now honor him as only Hogwarts can, by wisely, resourcefully, justly, and bravely facing all that lies ahead.
To Professor Fig!
Never imagined we'd attend a funeral for one of our professors. Glad Weasley spoke for Fig. She honored him. He'll be well remembered. I only wish we could have done the same for Solomon Sallow. I need to go and see Anne soon.
Ominous, there's something I need to tell you. It's to do with Victor Rookwood.
I heard a rumor that he confronted you outside of Ollivander's. Sounds as if you faced quite a fight.
The rumor's true, and I did. But it's not that. Just before Rookwood attacked, he uttered something familiar. The same words Anne heard before she was cursed. Children should be seen and not heard.
Wait, what are you saying?
It wasn't one of Ranrock's loyalists who cursed Anne. It was Victor Rookwood. It was Rookwood all along.
This can't be. The night Anne was cursed, all she saw were goblins.
You see, since Feldcroft was of interest to Ranrock, it became of interest to Rookwood as well. That's why Rookwood was there the night Anne was cursed. He was working with Ranrock. When he saw Anne, well, he didn't want anyone to know.
So he cursed her. Oh, so cruel. Rookwood got what he deserved. Thank you for telling me. Anne and Sebastian deserved to know, and it should come from me. As we discussed, I spoke with Black. Sebastian's with the headmaster now, but perhaps there's a way to get word to him. When I find out, I'll send an owl.
I don't think Mr. Pemberton meant to use his own stationery. He knows something about those demigods.
I received an interesting owl from Joanna Bickle about Harlow.
I think I know where we can find Doran. Meet me in the Forbidden Forest and we can tell him about the symbol the Mooncalves made.
I have news about Sebastian. Meet me in the Undercroft as soon as you can.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented...
It's good to see you. All is as it should be in the castle. Bells ringing.
Thank you for coming.
Ominous, I received your owl. What's happened with Sebastian?
He's been expelled, and will soon face trial at the Ministry. Although Anne wanted to turn him in, I think now she's torn. I confess I know how she feels. As much as we all wanted Sebastian to face the consequences of his actions. It will never be the same without him. Just standing here in the Undercroft without Sebastian feels wrong.
I never thought things would end this way. I hope we did the right thing.
I hope so too.
Were you able to tell Sebastian about Rookwood cursing Anne?
I was. Black let me talk to Sebastian before he left. At first he wouldn't believe it. Then he realized it all made sense. Unfortunately, his anger only grew towards goblins and dark wizards. Anne was shocked too, but in some sense relieved to know the truth about who was responsible. I think it brought her some peace.
I'm glad to hear it. She deserves peace.
She does. Sebastian was my best friend. I can't imagine Hogwarts or anywhere without him. I know you two had grown close, that you were helping each other with more than just finding a cure for Anne. He never gave specifics, but I know it was important. He means a lot to us both. I hope we get the chance to tell him that one day. I know we had a bit of a rocky start, but you've proven yourself as a friend. I'm glad you came to Hogwarts.
Seems a pleasant enough little place.
Are you ready to finish Harlow?
I'm ready to finish Harlow once and for all. What is your plan?
I received an owl from Mrs. Bickle. She wondered if we were having any luck going after Harlow. Suggested we could gather evidence from a friend near Manor Cape.
But she warned us to stay out of it. Was rather adamant about it.
Precisely.
Harlow knows that we saved Archie, and that we rescued Mr. Rabe. The letter didn't come from Mrs. Bickle, did it?
I do not believe it did. Harlow intends to ambush us.
But now we have the upper hand. We can prepare.
We are stronger than Harlow, and he knows it. That's why he's resorting to this sort of trickery. We must go.
Agreed. Let's finish this.
Brilliant. Harlow's reign ends today.
Perhaps we ought to inform Officer Singer of our plans.
I already sent her an owl to let her know that we were following a lead given to us by Mrs. Bickle.
Are you concerned she might tell your mother?
Indeed she will, but so be it. I am tired of hiding it from her. My mother needs to understand that I will not be safe from the Ashwinders until everyone is. I shall pursue them until they are finished, and I think she knows that. As do you.
That I do.
I sense he is close.
Where is he?
I do not know.
Gullible children! Right into us!
You will get them! Watch out!
Crucial. Knew you would do it. You're easier to spot than an eruption.
Oh, look at a little chimp.
Accio. Potato.
They got what they deserve.
You fight like a muggle. Little Nat Sione, innit? And her excruciatingly loyal companion. You two have done quite a bit of damage to my business interests. But I must grudgingly give you some credit. What was once a mere annoyance has become remarkably problematic. Fortunately, I pride myself on my problem-solving skills.
This will not end in your fight.
Do you really believe that you are somehow inconsolable?
Are you sure you are up for a visitor?
Yes, Mother. I feel fine, and it will do me good to see my friend.
Very well. But do not overdo it, Natsai.
I know, Mother. It is good to see you, my friend.
I'm glad to see you're doing so well.
I am doing better than it appears. I am only here because my mother insisted, just to be safe. I was relieved when she told me that you were all right.
Only because of you. How are you feeling?
Well, I've had better days, but Nurse Blaney says that I am on the mend.
I'm sorry, Natty. It's my fault you got hurt.
What? No. Do not blame yourself for this. The moment that I saw Harlow aim his wand at you, well...
You did what came naturally.
I suppose it was instinct. Yes. I could not simply stand there and let you get hurt.
Then I shouldn't feel guilty.
Of course not. There was nothing that you... Oh my... I cannot believe that it took me this long to see it. He made a choice. Based on instinct, my father, you, my friend, are no more to blame for my injuries today than I am to blame for my father's sacrifice years ago.
From what I know of him, it seems there's a lot of your father in you.
That's very kind of you to say. I hope that you are right. This has all been a bit much, hasn't it? A battle here at Hogwarts, everything we have done to take down Harlow and the rest of Rookwood's lot. But we have done it. Rookwood is dead, Harlow is on his way to Azkaban, and the rest of them are on the run. A few of the dregs will still be about, fighting for their lost cause. But Rookwood's enterprise has fallen apart.
Everything is safer now because of us. Because of you.
Thank you, but we make a formidable team. You, my fellow traveler, have enriched my time at Hogwarts beyond anything I could have imagined. Thank you. I believe your friendship to be one of the most important in my life. Thank you for coming to visit me. It is always good to see you.
Reparo. Lumos.
Hogsmeade, here I come.
Care enough to remove my demiguise statues.
It doesn't look good, I can tell you that.
Pardon me, sir, but about those curious demiguise statues I've seen.
What? Who are you? Why do you ask?
They're quite clever.
Oh, thank you. A lot of craftsmanship and care went into them. I assume.
So you did create them?
Yes, I did. It was a ploy to give that pathetic oaf Moon a taste of the grief he caused me years ago. You are the one who's been pilfering them.
I am, at the request of Mr. Moon. I received your owl on your stationery.
Ah, well, fitting Moon would enlist a student. Too cowardly to do it himself. Hasn't changed a bit. Even when we were at school, he was a cowardly bully. Gave me a horrible nickname, which I shan't repeat. I was thrilled when we left school and he seemed gone for good. Then I started seeing him around Hogsmeade. It was too much. Even if I do take satisfaction in that his life's destiny was to be a lowly caretaker.
Mr. Moon does a good deal for the school, and he's taught me a lot. He's terrified of those statues.
I know. You should have seen his face when that boggart appeared. Oh, priceless. That's when I knew what I needed to do. I simply didn't want to encounter him anymore. So, I shrewdly put a boggart in his path to learn his greatest fear. I then created the demiguise statues to keep him in his place, so to speak. The moons were inspired play on his name. It worked brilliantly. Until you started clearing them out.
Sounds as if Mr. Moon deserved what he got. But perhaps it's time you both moved on.
Fair point, I suppose. If they've terrified him, as you say, he may have learned his lesson.
My mother used to say I was late.
Not a day goes by.
Aloha Mora.
Something I didn't.
Revelio.
Not saying I don't cast the odd cleaning spell.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Duncan owes his reputation to you.
Mr. Moon, I've learned who's behind the demiguise statues. It was a classmate of yours that you bullied, Piers Pemberton.
Oh, I might have known. Pigtails Piers.
I don't think he likes being called that.
Of course he does. Oh, we had such flowing locks, and we used to laugh about them. I laughed the hardest of all. Clever, clever man. I'd no idea he was so devious. I must go and congratulate him. Whatever statues remain seem less terrifying now that I know they were put out by old pigtails. Continue collecting them if you like. As for me, I'm gonna go and pay a visit to my old friend. We are fortunate to have a student brave enough to eradicate the demiguise figurine menace.
Quiet, please. We are making art.
By all accounts, Hogwarts would be lost without you.
Professor Weasley, you wanted to see me?
I did. We haven't had a chance to speak since I know you were quite close with Professor Fig.
Hogwarts won't be the same without him.
No, it won't. But I can assure you that he would want us to press on, and that he would rest easy knowing that the future of the wizarding world is in hands like yours.
Thank you, Professor.
You've had quite a year, both inside and outside of Hogwarts. I've heard all sorts of rumors. You've ridden a graphorn, befriended a goblin, rescued hippogriffs, even somehow ingratiated yourself with the Headless Hunt.
How did you...
It's harder to keep secrets around here than one might suspect. I'm just glad you found such a good friend in Miss Onai. I think her mother shares the sentiment. While I do not condone taking matters into your own hands when it comes to men like Rookwood and Harlow, your bravery is to be commended.
Thank you, Professor.
No need to discuss it further. What I would like to discuss is your wizard's field guide. May I see it?
Of course. What do you think, Professor?
I think you've been busy this year. I see some progress here, but quite a bit of your field guide has yet to be completed. Fortunately, you do have some time to prepare for your OWLs. I will confess I had a sense about you from that first moment you came bursting in, late, to the sorting ceremony. I am pleased to see that my instincts were correct. To think you've only been with us a year and you'll already be taking your OWLs, well, it's nothing short of astonishing.
Thank you, Professor, for everything.
You are most welcome. I look forward to seeing what you do during the rest of your time with us.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Ooh, how I love good. Revelio. Accio. Revelio.
I should investigate. Here we are. Mr. Weeks wasn't wrong about the mountain views.
If it isn't the fastest Gryffindor.
Hello, Imelda. So, another trial?
Of course it's another trial. And you'd better be taking part.
Does this mean you've changed your mind about me?
Well, you're a step up from the good-for-nothings who usually challenge me. While they sit around and hope to be the best, I put in hours of practice. No one sets records by wishing for them, and I need strong competition to stay on top of my game. Are you going to try to beat my flying record or not?
I'm ready to fly.
Finally, a decent challenge.
Brilliant. Oh! I'm getting the hang of this. Now that's more like it! I'd say that was acceptable. Brilliant.
Did anyone else see that?
You've improved, I must admit. That was a bloody good run. Be careful. Earn a reputation for talent around here, and some people get put out about it.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Yes, well, I am. Anyway, you didn't do abysmally. I can't deny that. But you'll not have the same luck on the South Coast course.
We'll see, won't we? Till next time.
I half expected you to back down. Rest on your laurels. See you at the South Coast trial, if you don't lose your nerve. To race this course again, visit the podium with the leaderboard, where you can start the race and check your time.
I should let Mr. Weeks know.
Back from your latest flight? I want to hear all the particulars.
Good news, Mr. Weeks. With your upgrade, I was able to set a new record at the Irondale course.
Brilliant! I knew the upgrade had fantastic potential. How did your broom feel?
It rides well. Does get a tad shaky at top speed, and the handle wobbles a bit when I hit a strong gust of wind.
Ah, yes. I see. I think I know how to address that. Thank you. I owe you one.
If it means another upgrade, the pleasure's all mine.
You sound as determined as I am to improve broom flight. It's a joy to have a collaborator like yourself. If I'm right, and I do hope I am, you'll be hearing good news from me soon. Thank you again, truly. What are we looking for today?
Mr. Weeks and I do make a good team.
Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again. Hello again. Wonderful to see you. I believe my next broom upgrade to be even more impressive than the last. Come by Spintwitches as soon as you can. You'll be thrilled with that broom, I promise you. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, you're all set with the new upgrade. I can't wait to hear what you think. This may sound presumptuous, but...
You'd like me to report back with even more flight details.
You know me well. I feel I'm almost there. I just think I can improve broom flight a bit more. Miss Ray's is running a time trial at the South Coast course. Not ideal, really, what with rumours of Ranrock's lot and Ashwinders infiltrating the place. However, if you're flying high above them, you should be all right, I think.
I'm not worried, Mr. Weeks. I'll see if I can find Imelda.
I hope you are able to complete these trials. I have a feeling this final upgrade is going to be a sweeping success. Do be careful, of course. I shall look forward to hearing from you soon. I look forward to our next meeting.
This looks like trouble. The course looks rather deserted. I hope everything's all right.
Gryffindor, over here!
Hello again, Imelda. This course is a bit far from the castle, isn't it?
Obviously. Evidently too far for most of our classmates. Pathetic. They should be begging me to keep these trials alive, not running scared. I'm surprised our new 5th year showed up. I suppose I appreciate the effort.
That's actually... thank you.
I know I can be impatient, but I get frustrated by those who don't take things as seriously as I do. And in my experience, that's everyone. Anyway, don't let it go to your head. Right then, enough chatter. I'm confident I've posted a time you won't be able to beat.
We'll soon see how I fare, won't we? I'm ready.
Get ready to lose, Gryffindor.
This is going well. Brilliant. That wasn't too difficult. Brilliant flying, if I do say so myself. Ho! Ho! This is going well. Now that's more like it. Good. I've got this. That was quite something.
Impressive work today, but don't get too comfortable. I'll be on your heels in no time. My family's not going to believe the news when I tell them. They're almost as competitive as I am. Almost.
It's been fun competing against your records, Imelda.
It has been fun. Glad you're here. 5th year. Not bad. For a Gryffindor. You take care of yourself.
I should let Mr. Weeks know that this was his best upgrade yet. Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
How's my favourite test flyer? Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
Hello again, Mr. Weeks. I set a new record at the South Course.
Fantastic! Your broom performed well then?
The best upgrade yet. It flew beautifully, incredibly nimble. But with the speeds it now reaches, I can feel the wind catching beneath the seat a bit, preventing it from reaching its full potential.
Of course! Should have anticipated that. Exactly the kind of report I've come to expect from you. At last, I think I know what needs to be done for my final upgrade.
I shall look forward to speaking again.
I'll be sure to send you an hour when I'm finished. Thank you again for your help. Couldn't have done this without you.
Thank you for your persistence and cleverness. I confronted Piers about it and he confessed straight away, the old rascal. We've agreed to let bygones be bygones. Don't forget to say hello the next time you're in the Three Broomsticks. Thrilled to be back there again.
You're back. Nice to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
Make a good team.
And you say they made it after you placed the moonstone?
Do you know why or what it means? Does it have to do with the Snidgets?
The breadth of one's knowledge can be as wide as the seas, and yet only run so deep.
It's good to see you again, Doran. Did Poppy tell you about everything that's happened?
She did, and I am glad to see that you are both safely returned. I did question the wisdom of sending you on a path at a time when that path was unknown at best, deadly at worst. But the acumen of the centaurs is neither personal nor partial. The skies tell us what is to come, and often we do not know what we have seen until it has come to pass.
You knew the poachers would try and kill Poppy and me.
I did not know, my young friend, but I shall say that I was not surprised. It was in much the same manner that I expected our first meeting.
I don't suppose you'd like to start from the beginning. I think Poppy and I could use that.
Of course. I find it is often the best place to start, is it not? Many, many moons ago, I divined a series of events. Their meaning long evaded me, until you brought news of the Snidgets and their poacher pursuers. I believe the symbol created by the Mooncalves dance marks the place the Snidgets are hidden. And serendipitously, I believe that I know the very place.
Please, go on.
I have seen that symbol only once, on a rock face in the cliffs of the forest. You should make haste there. The Snidgets that have been kept there for so many years may no longer be safe.
If you're right about this place, then we should make our way there.
I shall see you there. We cannot afford to lose the Snidgets once again.
place right out of a storybook. Bombarder! Knowing a meat, he's likely studied here.
How remarkable.
I got here as soon as I could.
Did you see the symbol above the entrance? It's the one the mooncalfs made at the henge. Of course Doran implied as much, but to see it up there...
Could this actually be where the Snidgets are hidden?
Let's find out. Doran's waiting for us just up ahead.
I'm ready if you are.
Can you believe it? Actual Snidgets. I'm glad we seem to be a step ahead of the poachers.
It is a little strange we haven't heard anything from them.
If we're lucky, they're still poring over Gran's research. It was a fair amount. We, on the other hand, had Doran to guide us. Even if the poachers do somehow stumble upon this place, we shall be long gone.
Revelio. Confringo. Bombarder. Confringo. Protego. Stupefy. Bombarder. Confringo.
I sincerely hope we never have to do that again.
Greetings.
I hope we haven't kept you waiting long, Doran.
Not at all. Then again, it is not I who awaits your arrival. Do you have the Moonstone with you?
We do.
Good. It is as important to what happens next as both of you are.
So, what does happen next? What are these pillars here?
A safeguard, I suspect. There is only one way to find out. And as for how to go about that, the two of you may know better than anyone.
Accio!
I wonder if the pillars move at all. Did it! Look, Doran, a doorway!
I suspect we all know what lies beyond that passage. And now, I'm afraid I must leave you. At least for a time.
You're not coming in with us.
If the Snidgets are here, the herd will see the truth of it for themselves. Alec especially. Go on without me. I will rejoin as soon as I am able.
So many books.
You haven't seen my grand study. Look at the mirrors on the wall. They're all creatures.
Accio!
This place must have been built to protect them. They are
Wingardium Leviosa.
What makes you say that?
The poacher camps always felt oppressive. It's hard to explain, but the feeling was palpable. At least to me. The sense I get here is of safety and calm. Quite the opposite of the poacher camps.
Confringo. Bombarda. Confringo. Lumos.
Lumos!
Whoever built this place certainly liked to read.
And the books are all about creatures.
Your Gran would love it here.
She would. I can't wait to tell her all about it.
Levioso.
I'll wager this isn't the dead end it seems to be. But how to get through?
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Confringo. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Confringo. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Glacier.
Of course. How clever. Look at this place.
Little puppy sweeting. Forgot how to cover your track?
What was that?
Not Dollar, not Santa.
Glacier.
Stop right there! No.
Potato.
You'll have to fight eventually.
Stupid one.
Avoid back for more. Not the brightest child.
Bombarda.
Ready your war. The fight has only begun.
Glacier. Bombarda.
I'll check your heart to be a day.
Stupid. Confringo. Glacier. Potato. Stupid one. Bombarda.
Stop right there! Oh, there's a tiger!
Cynthia, hold your own. That's the best you can do. Oh, protect us, Cynthia! Confringo! And Cynthia! Accio! Confringo! No! Accio! Bombarda! Confringo! Bombarda!
I think that was all of them.
Are the two of you unharmed? I had hoped to return before it was too late.
We're fine, but if you hadn't got here when you did, I led them here, Doran.
You fought with us against your kind. I am glad to have witnessed this. I now believe all that Doran told me.
They are the ones I saw, Alec.
Finish your work here, brother. All the events you divined have not yet come to pass.
There they are. Now, all that remains is to break the charm.
You want us to... I only ever wanted to see them safe, which they are. You should do it. Merlin, they're lovely. But what happens now? They can't care for themselves, and surely once word gets out of their reappearance...
No harm will come to them. The centaurs will see to that. You have my word.
Thank you, Doran, for helping us to find them and to fight for them.
It is you who deserves the merit, child. You did what the poachers would never have. Remember that. You both fought bravely today. Allow us to carry the mantle from here.
If it's all right, Doran, I think I'd like to stay behind and spend a little more time with the Snidgets.
I'm truly awed by what we've accomplished. The final broom upgrade is better than even I expected. Stop by Spintwitches when you can.
Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade.
Oh, hello again. Couldn't have perfected the broom upgrades without your help. As always, I have a special prize for you. I truly enjoyed working with you. Thank you for believing in me. What are we looking for today? Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
How nice.
Did you? Aha! I see you.
Confringo. Bombarda. You? Protego. Bombarda. Glacius.
Goodness. What a party.
Bombarda. Confringo.
What will release power?
I don't think you know who you're dealing with.
Accio.
No, that's embarrassing. That's the student who destroyed us.
Bombarda.
You won't get away.
Confringo.
You call that spellcasting?
Accio.
Rally behind strength and you can't go wrong. It's when minds stand behind whimsy that castles fall.
Professor Howard will never believe this.
Revelio.
Confringo! Protego! Stupefy!
Have you learned? What have you done?
Confringo!
No!
Bombarda!
You won't get away with that.
Glacius!
I won't rest.
Confringo! Bombarda! Confringo! Bombarda! Avada Kedavra! Confringo! Bombarda!
One less human. Was that just then? Pity. Not quite.
Bombarda! Accio! Confringo! Glacius! You only have Ranrock to blame.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide.
It must lead to something grand.
Excuse me, madam. I thought I heard you say something.
Yes, indeed. Talking to myself again. I find myself to be quite the engaging conversationalist since my husband passed. Madam Althea Twiddle, pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Madam Twiddle.
You know, you might be interested in this. You young people love this sort of thing. My husband often ruminated on the mysterious statue just outside our hamlet. Some sort of archaic puzzle involving vases, he would insist. I stumbled upon it today when I had a burst of energy and extended my morning constitutional a bit longer than usual.
An archaic puzzle. Sounds fascinating.
You see, I suspected you'd be interested, and wait till I tell you about the rumours surrounding this particular puzzle. My husband Greville insisted that solving the puzzle would reveal a magical challenge of sorts. The man was intrigued by everything. He was about to try and solve it himself when... Perhaps you could take a look. I'd be rather interested to hear what, if anything, you find.
If I happen to see it, I'll have a look.
Ah, the spirit of youth. I do hope you'll be able to solve the puzzle. If not for me, then in Greville's memory.
I should look into the statue, madam.
If one more person asked me about her...
Pardon me, sir.
Come to stare at the fool, have you? There's poor Ig Haggerty, robbed by his own sister. She's robbed almost everyone now. So, who's the fool?
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
Then you're the only one who doesn't know about Catherine running off with that thief Victor Rookwood and his lot. Good riddance, I said. Never thought she'd return to steal from me. Us. But I just know it was her. I want her caught and sent to Azkaban for stealing a prize family heirloom. Sister or no.
I could keep an eye out for the thief, sir.
You? Ugh. Nothing to be done by the likes of us. This is a job for the fine officer Singer or some such authority. Besides, the thief, my sister, only strikes at night. Coward. Long past your bedtime.
What do you have for sale?
I'd keep an eye on your belongings if I were you. Catherine will steal the eyebrows off.
I ought to look into this thievery business for Mr. Haggerty once night falls. Now that it's night, I ought to look into this thievery business for Mr. Haggerty.
Revelio.
A pile of gold. I must be on the right track. It looks as if the thief took more than they could carry.
Revelio.
More gold. I must be getting closer.
Could do with a nice mushroom stew.
Expelliarmus! Avenge our leader!
Confringo. Expelliarmus. Revelio.
Could it be a Merlin trial?
Revelio.
This looks intriguing.
Revelio.
Enjoy suffering, do you?
Confringo.
There you are.
Expelliarmus.
This will not be another setback like Feldcroft.
Expelliarmus.
Through to the...
Confringo.
That's it. You showed no mercy in the cursed mountain. We will show none today.
No! Expelliarmus.
I will make you.
You won't get away with that.
Confringo. Expelliarmus.
You won't get
Protego. Stupefy.
Revelio.
I wouldn't give her a cup of mushroom up.
Petrificus Totalis. Revelio. Petrificus Totalis. Revelio.
Feels like I've been at this for hours. Ah!
Petrificus Totalis. Your blood's on Ranrock's hands. Revelio. A Niffler. It wasn't Catrin Haggerty after all. That must be the Haggerty family heirloom. I wonder how Mr. Haggerty will take this news. His sister wasn't the thief, and his heirloom's coming home. Slow down now. There we... I have some good news, Mr. Haggerty. I unmasked your thief.
Nothing to unmask, was there? We all know that the thief was my sister, Catrin.
Actually, sir, the thief was a Niffler.
A what?
You know, small, furry, pilfering. I followed it to its lair.
Catelyn was the only one who knew how to get into our homes, where to find our treasures. But I suppose, mangy little blighter. Well, if you found the Niffler's lair, as you say, you must have found my heirloom.
As a matter of fact, I did.
Thank you. You don't know how much this means to me. Catrin's a disappointment for certain, but I never wanted to believe she was behind this. Now, thanks to you, I won't have to. What a strange world we live in. Suppose they can't send a Niffler to Azkaban. At least I got my heirloom back.
Revelio. Confringo! Revelio! Confringo! There's no telling what lies in wait for me in there. This looks like the statue Madame Twiddle mentioned. Why are there so many vases around here? I suppose I should try to find all the vases. I think there should only be a few more vases. Nearly finished. One more vase. That's it. I should tell Madame Twiddle about what happened. Expelliarmus! Confringo! Glacius! Bombarda! Confringo! Bombarda! Glacius! Confringo! Potato! Stupefy! Bombarda! Confringo!
Not your best.
Accio! Potato! Stupefy! Confringo! Confringo! Bombarda! Accio! Confringo! Glacius! Bombarda! Confringo! Accio! Defender! Potato! Confringo! Confringo! Defender! Accio! Glacius! Confringo! Defender! Potato! Stupefy! Crucio! Stupefy! Stupefy! There's a victory that came none too soon. Ugh. Confringo! Potato!
No! I will make you pay.
Confringo! Accio! Looks rather dark in there. Never stopped me before. Mrs. Twiddle, your husband was right. The statue was part of a puzzle.
Oh, really? How exciting!
Yes, I had to destroy a number of large vases, and that seemed to activate some sort of charm on the statue.
Well done. Oh, I miss having someone like you around with a thirst for knowledge and a quick mind. Well, my curiosity has been satisfied. Thank you for that. Who knows what I'll encounter on my next constitutional? Oh, my husband would be so pleased to know he was right about that statue.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
Just the person I was hoping to see.
I see Doran finally convinced you to leave the Snidgets.
If anyone can keep them out of poacher hands, it's the centaurs. And I wanted to thank you. When the poachers ambushed us, it was nice not to face them alone.
Of course. It's the sort of thing friends do for each other, isn't it?
I suppose so. I am glad you came to Hogwarts. It's already been my best year. I wouldn't want a repeat of Horntail Hall, of course, but I did enjoy the Three Broomsticks. Had no idea how lovely it was there.
Had you never been to the Three Broomsticks?
I used to spend most of my time with Highwing, and well, I don't know how Serona feels about hippogriffs popping in for a butterbeer. Highwing's the only one I would have gone with. Or Gran, of course.
Highwing is nice company, but perhaps it's time to add a few more friends to your circle.
I am starting to see the appeal of human friends. It was nice to talk about my parents and Gran with someone, and share Highwing.
It has all been a pleasure, Poppy. Do try and stay out of trouble.
Don't know that I can. We've taken on poachers twice now, successfully. I rather think you've helped me develop a taste for it. And with centaurs as allies, I might actually go looking for trouble. You and I should meet for a butterbeer soon. Perhaps Highwind can join us?
Just beware the open flame!
This year, we have seen our students exemplify the bravery of Godric Gryffindor. Allow me to finish. The loyalty of Helga Hufflepuff. The wisdom of Rowena Ravenclaw. And the ambition of Salazar Slytherin. And so, the winner of this year's House Cup...
Excuse me, Headmaster, if I may. One particular student's heroism during the attack on Hogwarts, not to mention the level to which they have excelled in their coursework, as a new student, no less. Well, it would seem that it certainly merits, I'd say, 100 points to their house. Wouldn't you agree?
Ah, yes. Thank you, Professor Weasley. I suppose we have our winner.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all for following me through this Hogwarts Legacy adventure. So like I meant, this has been absolutely thrilling being able to play through this, basically in a way cement my legacy. Basically being able to cement my legacy in Hogwarts history, even though it's not actually canon, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, it's been absolutely fun as hell being able to do this. I will be finishing off the field guides in my own time. As yeah, I've got 70%, but I've still got quite a decent bit to go. Seen that last 10% for one more in the high fields here, then probably the last 15 as that goes from 8 to 15 here. And same thing here, so that'll be fun. The longest part will definitely be this. Still have no clue what the hell that is. Starting tables are somewhat easy. The Hogwarts secrets. Apparently there's one more I'm missing. I'll find it somewhere. Shouldn't be that hard to find, I guess. I guess could technically be the puzzle room here. So I guess that could work as well, so we'll see. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I know I have made a little weird using the unforgivable curses at the end.
Oh, nice
but
to see you, my young friend.
the way I like to think of it is, well, at least during the main playthrough when I'm not doing the actual campaigns, unless I'm forced to, don't use the unforgivable curses unless you absolutely have to. And I find, at least in terms of the battle arena, they all kind of deserve it anyway, so I may as well use it in the final stretch before we end this series. So, yep. Still, I hope you guys have all enjoyed, and my next series I'm starting, well technically continuing tomorrow, is Gotham Knights. I know I uploaded episode 1 a while ago as kind of like a filler since I wasn't able to get around to releasing the next episodes. So if you scroll back through my release dates, you'll see what I mean.
I think it's for the best that Kagawa takes flying seriously. Far too easy for first years to injure themselves in class. Not to say that's not amusing.
Okay. But yeah, now this is...
Always something to celebrate around.
Okay, I'm just gonna quickly find somewhere that won't be interrupted. I don't know the best areas, but this will work over here, I guess. Yeah. Also to note that with these to collect all the tokens, unlock the house chest in your common room. As I showed when I first actually got it, it's alright, I guess. Wrong one. Basically get this, which is your color and then your house's crest with the golden glowy detailing on it. It's basically the exact same for every different house, but the robes are slightly different, with the colors being your house and the animal being your house as well, so kind of obvious for that part. But just to take into perspective how long I've been playing for, so far 23 hours the last save from the last time I played was February 15th, so for me, you'll see for a second. Yeah, it took me 26 hours to be able to complete it. So, not too bad, I'll give it that. So, yeah. My only begrudging about the game is that with the room flying, I do wish you can control all of the controls with the left analog, so you can actually use the right to control your camera. Who knows? Maybe they'll fix that in a casual selling or DLC or whatever, I guess. Yeah. Guess we'll see how that goes. I hope you guys have enjoyed this series, and I shall see you all in the continuation of Gotham Knights. I will let you know I have already uploaded or recorded a bunch of episodes, like 9 or so, so I'm prepared. Yeah. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I shall see you all on the next one. Peace out, folks.
Revelio.